Welcome to the Sea Archers podcast. I don't know how to say it.
Say it. Good job.
This is the Sea Average Podcast.
Welcome to the Sea Average Podcast.
Welcome to the Sea Average Podcast.
More like the world's okayest podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is Sea Average Podcast, episode 43. I am Chris Webb. Today we got Tyler Thomas, Kevin Salyer, Mikey Scheid, and we got a special guest today, another one. He is a Southern Maryland country singer, songwriters. We played alongside of artists such as Chris Jansen, Chris Lane, Kevin DeGraw, Craig Campbell, Sundance Head, and Jimmy Allen. In 2018, he was nominated for the Best Country Artist Award and Maryland Music Awards. With damn near 31,000 followers on Instagram, you can catch him at the show this Saturday, April 3rd, at Sports on Tap here in the beautiful city of Columbus, Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Phillip Michael Parsons.
What's up, Chris?
What's up, man?
Thank you so much for having me on the show today, man.
Hey, man, I'm glad you were able to do this.
Super pumped about it. I'm also super pumped to be back in Columbus, man. It's been like 2 years since I've been in Columbus, so.
Oh, damn. That long?
Almost.
I guess the pandemic can't even do much.
Yeah,
right?
that kind of ruined things a little bit, but.
By the way, I got my Jack and Coke here. Preaching for you there, my man.
I appreciate it.
I had no problem. I mean, I'm gonna start us off. Let you know this is not any other interview you've done before. Just
all right.
This is a weird, very laid back. We're gonna be cussing up a storm. Like I like just for this interview, I guess you'd say I watched a couple of them, and man, I'm sorry you had to go through some of that stuff, man, because some of them were.
I've always some of my favorite podcasts. I like sit there and I listen to it. I'm like, one of these days, I'm gonna end up in a podcast where I can say whatever the hell I want to say, you know?
You're here. You made it.
It's the day.
Let's go.
Oh man. So like with I guess with touring back on going concerts again, like how's it been since everything's gone, everybody's back allowed to go do things again? That's gotta be neat.
Yeah, so I guess it kind of depends because we've actually, I think since probably June of last year, we've played a fairly full schedule. I mean, it's not anywhere near what it was in like 2019 and the beginning of 2020, but we've still probably played like 2/3 of what we would have played normally. The difference is that it's just like so restricted, and obviously, there's attendance restrictions and everyone has to be sitting down and all this stuff. But we have been fortunate enough to play some shows in the Southeast where they literally do not give a shit.
Oh,
and that's been pretty epic, man. We've had 4 days in a row in South Florida where it was like 4 days in a row, just like max capacity, line out the door, same venue, 4 nights in a row. And that was like pretty awesome. We played in Alabama some, and they don't give a shit in Alabama either. So
I can't wait till we're like that. I feel like we're like in the middle. We're not like super crazy, like strict, like fucking what California is right now. California's like shut the fuck down. And then you got
they're still shut down.
Yeah, then you got Florida who doesn't give a shit at all.
They literally give no shits. Like there's like a joke in Florida. They're like that, like COVID doesn't exist in Florida.
Well, we've all seen the stories that come from Florida, so
yeah. Okay.
Florida man.
So it's actually my original home state. So
that's what I was wondering, because I was kind of confused. I know it says like you're from Southern Maryland, and then I also know you're like Nashville, but also you're a big Florida Gators fan too, right?
Yeah, my man did his research. Come on.
I tried.
Yeah. So I was born on campus at the University of Florida. There's like a hospital there called Shands Hospital. And that's where I was born, and I grew up in Florida for the first several years of my life. But also, my dad went to the UF, so like I grew up like Gator games were on, and like my first football game, he took me to a Gators like versus Kentucky game. So like I grew up around Gator football. So
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry you're a Gators fan.
Well, you know what, dude? Hey, look, this is what I gotta say. You're obviously an Ohio State fan, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are welcome for Urban Meyer.
Yes.
No kidding.
The fact that, have you been watching March Madness at all?
Yeah, I have. More this year than normal, actually.
So the fact that That's all this whole thing. I think it's a meme or whatnot. But it was on since Oral Roberts has officially ended Ohio State and Florida's run. It's a feat last accomplished by Urban Meyer's health problems.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
But yeah, we love Urban. Fortunately, now he's gone. But we like Ryan Day too. So
Yeah.
hope he does
Yeah.
good. I mean, he's back in Florida for you guys for Jacksonville. Are you a Jacksonville fan, or were you at?
So I'm actually like, it's weird. So I love the NFL. I watch a lot of it, but like I don't have like a diehard team as much. But like growing up, I was a Tampa fan, and because I didn't necessarily like super support them over the last several years, I feel like I'd be a bandwagon guy by sitting here being like, yeah, I'm a hardcore Tampa fan, but I'm really not. I love the NFL, but I more have like, I'm a huge college fan. So I have my favorite players in the NFL that were usually my favorite college players.
When you were a Tampa fan, did you have like Mike Allstott and
dude,
Warwick Dunn?
Mike Allstott,
Oh yeah,
Sean King.
That was a fucking champ team, man.
It was, dude. It was.
Mike Allstott
Keyshawn Johnson, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a badass
team. Like every time somebody brings up like Mike Allstott and like Warwick Dunn, I'm like that is like that's a whole era.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, because then you got like. It started sucking there for a while though, but I can't say shit because our Bengals are right there as well.
Yeah, we're from Ohio. NFL's not our thing.
We're better at hockey.
True.
Yeah.
I've always hated Jameis Winston just because he went to Florida State and I'm a Gator fan. So like when he went to Tampa, I was just like, I'm sorry, I'm out for a few years.
Was it because he stole the crab legs?
I mean, that's part of it, but the fact that he's just like he was already screwed when we put on the garnet gold, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I like the Johnny Cash shirt. It's badass.
Thank you.
He always shows up with some kind of fresh
shirt. He got a crazy shirt.
Always.
Just see him around Christmas time, man.
Oh,
DJs.
All Christmas jammies.
My wife picks it out for me.
So how do you guys know each other?
We all went to high school together.
Damn.
So
in middle school and some elementary schools and
yep. Unfortunately, stuck
pretty
with
much
them.
grew up together. Yeah.
Right. Tired of looking at your ugly ass mug.
Yeah, we all grew up in the same town, and only one of us I think still lives there now. Yeah, we all live in 4 separate towns now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I was gonna like.
We're all close, but not that
close.
Not that.
I
close.
gotcha.
You know, like in your song and hometown, Love Hate Town.
That song is so real.
Right.
Yes.
Because like you say in it, there's people in your hometown that you like and you like to see, and there's people you don't like. Tyler's one of the people we don't like to see. So
I love it.
That's why they all left Delaware.
Yeah.
Stay there.
He's one of those people you go out on a Friday night, you're like, damn, I ran into that guy.
Right? Yep. Like, motherfucker. God.
Everywhere we go.
Oh man. So I was like looking at some of your stuff too, and especially on Instagram. I know you're a big fishing guy, right?
Yeah.
Is that a big thing in Southern like Maryland or?
Yeah, actually, I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I feel like it's fairly big, but we have some ponds around here that are pretty badass. Like, I used to do a lot of like bay fishing when I had my boat, but I actually sold my boat to pursue music like in like 2016 or 17 or something. Yeah. So I haven't had a boat for the last several years. So I started bass fishing like 3 or 4 years ago out of like ponds and different places. And now I'm kind of hooked on that because it's a little bit more of a hunt than just like throwing, a line in the water. I mean, it's a rush catching a fish when you just like cast the line in the water and you wait. But like when you're like hunting for a bass, dude, it's so much fun.
Bass fishing is the best, man.
It is.
When they come out of the water and snag that, it's just like, whoa. Shit.
Yeah. There was one time I was fishing in Santee Cooper Lake, South Carolina. And it's like they've got what are they called? Striper bass. They're like sea bass, but they were it's like one of the few places on earth that the sea bass reproduce in fresh water because of the way the dam and like whatever works, whatever. But there was one year we went and they were all like hitting topwater lures in this like one little cove of this like massive lake. It's like miles and miles and miles across this lake. But anyways, they're hitting topwater lures, but these were like 15, 20 pound bass, like sea bass. And
Damn.
like it was one of the craziest experiences. Like we were fishing with bass lures, like we were fishing with like Cincos and like topwater lures and stuff.
Yeah.
And when those things were like hitting those lines, it was like catching a bass times 2 or 3.
Damn.
It was pretty
You
sick.
carry your pole around with you all the time?
Not all the time. No, I don't.
On tour?
I'd be
That's
lying
actually
if I
gone
said
too.
that. So none of my guys fish, and
Damn.
I'm also a huge golfer, and none of my guys golf, but they're freaking awesome. I just need to get them into more fishing and more golfing, you know.
Hey, you should come up here for our Chris's golf tournament.
Oh, dude, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I think it's October-ish, right on there. It's a memorial tournament for my sister, but we had like 20 some
Growing every
teams
year.
over. Yeah,
Nice.
it's a fun time.
It was full up. I mean, there was no more room last year.
We
Nice.
suck ass at golfing, but we had a good time.
Oh,
We
yeah,
have
no, we're
fun, That's
terrible.
all that matters.
Yeah, but you're probably good at drinking, so it's all good.
Right.
Do
Yes.
that. That's my hobby.
Right. I was going to ask, like, what was your setup for your fishing? Like, do you have a certain go-to with the lures or anything like that?
Well, I mean, I don't know how it is in a lot of places, but I feel like my go-to, I prefer topwater lures. I like fishing with frogs,
Yeah.
but I feel like you catch more on Cincos, unfortunately. You know, some of like the Cinco worms and all that. But
Right.
it's kind of annoying. Those topwater lures are so much more fun. But if
They
I'm like
are.
if I'm like struggling, I'm like, God, I can't get skunked, then I'll throw in some Cincos and
Gotta
Yeah,
catch
they
something,
throw off
right?
that splashing action. Like shit, I'd bite that.
I know, right?
Come on, man. Perfect cast out there.
I mean, if I'm being honest, if somebody threw the right thing in front of me, I'd probably take a bite out of it.
Hey, you throw a Twinkie out there on the line, I might
Dude,
grab it.
I'd grab it. And no shame.
Right. So your sister is actually opening up for you.
Yeah.
And I was kind of wondering like this, like if you, I don't know if your sisters like my sisters to where you're going on tour with her, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I have 5 sisters and 1 brother, and I know that when we took long car trips, my sisters got annoying as shit the entire time. Is your sister the same way with you?
So I will say absolutely not. Like this sister,
I say it a lot.
she's like the wild one, but like
Okay.
the two of us always get along. You know?
That's cool.
So like she's the one that I worry about sometimes, but like we always get along. So, you know, as like the older brother, you know, it's cool that she's like out on the road with me. I can keep an eye on her, but like, you know, she, for some reason, the two of us are just like, you know, vibe. So she's actually fun as shit. She's basically a bro. Like when I'm like driving down the road, if it's like my turn, she's like riding shotgun. It doesn't matter if it's like 5 a.m, 6 a.m, you know, she's just like over there. And we're just like both like throwing in lips, dude. She's like, she can out dip the shit out of most guys.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Got a big old horseshoe.
Dude, she won't. I've seen her like she's won me some money off of that shit before. Like some dude's like walks up and starts making fun of me. I'll be like, look, you can make fun of me all you want, but my sister can outdip you. So I know I realize that makes me look like shit still, but like
Sack shrinks up a little bit. Like
I'm just gonna drag him down with me.
That's funny.
You have a big family. You have like 9
Yeah.
siblings.
Yeah, I got 6 sisters and 3 brothers. Yeah.
Jesus.
So you understand like when PMS happens in the house, you get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. If there's one thing I understand, it's women. But if there's one thing that I don't understand at all, it's women. You know.
Yep.
So
I 100% agree.
yeah.
My sisters groom the fuck out of me. It's like, you don't treat them like this, blah, 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 blah. Like,
Yeah.
always watching out my back.
Yep.
But I was actually the middle child, so not the oldest child.
Yeah, where are you at in your family? Like
I'm number 2. I have 1 older sister and then 8 younger siblings. So
okay.
the oldest brother, it's an interesting role.
Yeah.
Probably all looking up to you mostly.
Yeah, I think that they're looking up to me. and it's a difficult role. You know, you're like, sometimes you take the blame for things, sometimes you get more credit than is due, and sometimes you just it's an interesting role. But I think in a family of 10 kids, it's like everybody has an interesting role. Like when you're the middle child of 10 kids, like that's got to be crazy. You know, and when you're the youngest child of 10 kids, that's like a whole, you know, different thing for, you know, itself. So
yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do with your family life. You gotta be the protective older brother.
yep.
Do.
Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I threaten to kill people, and you know.
I've always liked the scene in Bad Boys, and like the father or the protective uncle comes for his daughter's getting first date.
Uh-huh.
You gotta
Who the fuck is
scare the
Reggie?
shit out of the person.
Yep.
Who the fuck is Reggie? I forgot about that.
So I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you listen to your own music? Like how well do you listen to your own music? Like, do you critique yourself in like a certain aspect? Like, I've never understood that, how musicians actually like produce music and then they like other music too, but they don't like, do you, all right, go ahead.
I got you. So I think it's like two questions. So like,
Good question, Mike.
So no, I don't listen to my music. In fact, I feel like, you know, like, okay, so sometimes I'll go to like a party or something, and I can tell that people are like intentionally putting my music on, you know, just because I'm there, right? And I'll be there, like one of my songs will come on, and honestly, it is super uncomfortable for me. Just because,
everybody stare at you.
Yeah, people are like looking at me like, you know, like what is it, you know, and like
You gonna start lip singing or something?
Yeah, I can't stand listening to my own music, but I will say that when I'm in the studio after I've written something, when I'm listening to it from the standpoint of like a listener, once it's put out, I can't stand listening to it. But before it's put out, when I'm in the studio after writing it, when I get the first copy from the producer of the finished product, I will listen to it probably 200 times, just because I'm like, it may be from a critical standpoint, but also just from like a listener standpoint, because to me, like when I have a concept, like the other day I wrote a song called Give It To Me Country, I think on like Wednesday or Thursday. And that song I've had in my phone for like 2 years as like a concept of a song. And I had tried to write it. It kind of failed. And then I sat down with I tried to write it with a few other songwriters, and I was like, okay, I'm going to stop now because this is not going in the direction that I wanted it to go. And then the other day I sat down with a couple guys, and it was just, I feel like we crushed it. So, you know, you go from that phase, from like a concept for a couple years to like, you know, finally writing it, to hearing a work tape, just like, you know, me or one of the other guys in the room singing it on like a voice memo, to the studio, to the finished product. And like, at that point, I listened to it over and over. Yes, from a critical standpoint, but also just because it's like, you know, if you were to build something and put it in your house, or, you know, if you were to create something, you know, you want to like, I don't know, I get some kind of enjoyment.
Perfect it. Yeah.
I get it, man.
Yeah. But the minute it gets put out, I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm done.
Right. Like it's done. It's already out there.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with it. Yeah. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I've never really understood that from like a, you know, an artist aspect. So it's pretty cool to hear you open up about that.
Yep.
Is it weird, like when you're at parties now, that like people recognize you? Like when you go like back in hometown?
Yeah. So if I'm being honest, though, I like the fact that I will be recognized. But the more and more that happens, and like the broader that like places that happens in, the more I feel like I'm always on the clock, you know, if that makes sense.
Right.
And a lot of people just like, you know, when they punch the clock, like they're off the clock, you know, but I know, what was it? I was flying, I don't remember where I was coming to or from, but it was probably like 3 months ago. And I was in the airport, and, you know, I'm sitting there, I'm looking like an absolute bum, like complete bum. I'm wearing like, you know, I don't even remember what I was wearing, but I just remember feeling like super like embarrassed about what I was wearing. And like this couple comes up to me and they're like, "Are you Phillip Michael Parsons?" And I was like, I feel like I want to say no, but I had just posted a story about being in the airport, in that airport. And but they were like,
get out of
"No,
that
I'll
one."
take a picture with you." But like, I feel like in those moments, if you're the guy that's like, "No, I don't want to take a picture," people are like, "Oh, this fucking
He's a
asshole."
dick.
But if you
Yeah.
get
Right.
a picture,
But like in all reality, I just didn't want anybody to see my sweatpants. Like that's all it was.
That's all I
Get a
fucking
picture from
wear
up
now.
here. Here up.
Yeah.
That's why on
that's
Zoom
all I wear.
calls, man.
Hey, dude, if I'm being honest, I'm wearing sweatpants right now. I just didn't
Hey.
want to get busted in
totes.
the airport.
Basketball shorts.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, speaking of fashion, I gotta say your snapback game is on point. You have like
Thanks, dude.
every episode or every picture or video, it's something different.
We're
How
gonna have
do
to
you
get
have?
you either a C average hat or a Ohio State hat.
Oh, so you can get me an Ohio State hat because we just built this what do they call it? Oh, it's a bonfire outside and I need some kindling material.
I do have a
Yeah.
shirt coming your way for
Sweet.
the concert too, so I'll get you one of those.
Hell yeah.
So
But-
I listen more of the older country, and I appreciate your music, your country style, because I feel like more of the country nowadays is more either like pop or like
Yeah.
super rock or whatever. But you're doing good.
I appreciate that,
Doing
man.
good.
I will be honest with you, in the sake of like, just spewing out the mouth and saying whatever comes to my mind here. A lot of my new stuff has a little bit more of a pop twist than I've ever put out before. It's like, I think that my vocals still sound very country and the lyrics are very country, but I'm kind of experimenting. I'm throwing a little experiment out with the next like 3 or 4 songs to add a little bit more of a pop vibe. But I think it's going to be something different. I don't know if it's like your typical, like, stuff that you'd hear on the radio. It's got my own little twist to it. So you'll have to let me know if I still deserve that comment.
You will.
few
You
weeks.
will.
All
I
right.
like it. You write most of you write your own songs and you're
Yep.
with other songwriters, and that's, to me, that's a huge thing if
Yeah.
the artist can write their own stuff. Otherwise, it's
That's
like,
always been huge.
I mean, everybody can sing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not everybody, but
I can't
Sure.
sing. I can't sing for shit.
No, I know what you're saying. I agree. That's one of my things that, like, all of my favorite singers, all of them write their own music, and they're at least in the room. They're a songwriter where they have like say, like I can't get invested in a song that wasn't my idea, my concept, and like me like kind of driving the train, because it's like, and that's not to say that I actually have I just last week in the studio recorded a song that I didn't write, but I also am recording it because one of my good buddies that I write with all the time wrote it. And I also know that he also knows me very well. And
it's like the same thing. It's like,
Yeah.
almost like you wrote it. Yeah.
yeah, but for the most part, and that's actually weird for me because I always am like super like against people recording songs that they don't write.
Right.
It's not that I'm against it. It's not, because I know there's some people that just like it's not their thing, but they love singing and they love entertaining, and that's totally fine with me. But to me, I personally don't really relate to guys like, if they're gonna put out like a 10-song album and they were a writer on like 8 of them, then I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I can get behind that. But if they put out like a 10-song album and they were a writer on like 1, then I'm like, I can't really. It's hard for me to like,
karaoke ass.
feel anything. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I get
Oh,
it.
man. So I'm a big tattoo guy, so I'm impressed with your sleeve. What
Thanks,
is
man.
it like? I've only seen like the guitar, but what all is it?
Yeah. So I have an American flag back here, and I've got Johnny Cash playing the guitar, which is why I like that shirt. And I've got a microphone back here, and then I've got it says "I am my brother's keeper" on here,
Oh,
and a
nice.
few of my brothers have the same tattoo. And then I'm a huge Dirk Bentley fan, so I've got one of his quotes. It's like really under, I guess not very many people have heard it, but it's you've lived a lot, but you ain't quite done. And that's kind of been my phrase for the last like 5 or 6 years of my life. But I've also got an American Eagle. I've got a clock. I'm like obsessed with time, and
Yeah.
and then just some hot girl on my forearm. No idea who she is. My tattoo artist was like, I swear you'll never run into her. And I was like, perfect.
It'd be awkward if you did.
I know, right, dude? I'd be like, wait a second, time out.
So my second son, all my kids are named after musicians. I got Marley is my first one. My second one is Xander Cash, after Johnny Cash.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I got Hendrix, and then I have Presley. But I got two tattoos, one for Marley and one for Xander. So I got a Martin D40, Johnny Cash's his favorite guitar.
Nice.
On my side with, so yeah. So we share that, yeah.
That's pretty badass, dude.
Yeah.
Cash tattoos.
I'm just a big nerd, so I have like a whole gaming sleeve going on the side.
Nice,
right now.
dude. Nice.
So,
Dude, his art.
are you gaming or anything, or?
So I would definitely not call me a gamer. I haven't played much games at all. I do like, I'll be honest, I do like a lot of the Rockstar games. I like Grand Theft Auto, and I enjoy like Red Dead.
You want to do a heist?
Yeah.
What was that?
We play a lot
Tom.
of Grand Theft Auto, the four of us.
Yeah.
And we're still during since the pandemic, that's kind of how we all got together, is playing Call of Duty. We're all off work, so we'd play Call of Duty all night, and then we
Nice.
kind of transitioned over to Grand Theft Auto, and that's pretty much all we do
So
all weekend
the
long.
most recent Grand Theft Auto like pissed me off because I went like 3 or 4 months without playing it, and every time I go back in, it's like I can go to all the checkpoints, I can do all the things, and like it doesn't ever get back into the story. It is so annoying. I've sat there for like hours and hours trying to get back into the story, and it just won't happen. So I finally gave up on it.
I think I
You guys
beat
got any
it.
pointers? Just let me know. How do you
It's
get
like on
online?
save, I
That's
don't
all
know.
we do.
Yeah, we play
I don't
online.
play
online
story. I haven't
with
played
each
story
other.
in years.
I gotcha. I don't
But-
think I don't know if I've ever really played games online. I think I played Call of Duty online like maybe 10 years ago for a little while.
when it was good
Yeah, I agree.
back in the day.
That's what I hear.
I mean, you probably don't get much time to do anything besides travel, right?
Yeah,
Go
I
from
mean,
one city to
honestly, like
next.
so I was telling someone the other day, I want a PS5. I enjoy playing games, but like I just feel like at this point in my career, I just feel like super guilty when I'm not doing something that is like building what like, you know, my goals. And like I'm either traveling, writing music. I do all of my own business stuff with my tour manager. I know you guys know Michael, but the two of us, like, we do everything, literally everything. And a lot of people don't necessarily know how much business stuff there is in music, and how much is required in planning all these shows and the tours and all that. So, you know, literally every second of my life is kind of accounted for. And by the time it's like, you know, 12 p.m. or 11 p.m., 12 a.m., I'm just like, all I want to do right now is just relax. So
Well, we definitely feel honored, because I even said to Chris, I was like, he's got a manager, like, like, can't we just talk to him? Like, but I get it now. You're a busy man, and you're just like, well, you're taking time out of your day to do this with us, so we really appreciate it.
well, I mean, I appreciate the shit out of this. I mean, like, and then I know obviously you guys are talking to my manager, but like, well, he's actually my tour manager, but it just makes it a lot easier for me to like weed through like what's legit, what's not legit, and you know, it saves me a little bit of time. So
Right.
Makes sense. Yeah, it was definitely the first time I've ever talked to someone's manager. He's like, "So what's going to be the rundown for this?" I'm like, I don't know if you've seen our shows or not. We kind of let shit fly.
Well, he did. He was like, look, this is not going to be your typical interview. He's like, they just want to like shoot the shit. I was like, well, you know, I just got a new guitar, and you know, I thought I was gonna be like playing something, and he's like, no, this is gonna be like, you know, chill.
It's the only reason I said no to that, just because if we were live in person like we used to be, for sure you could play. But like on here, the sound quality, it's kind of poopy.
Yeah, dude,
That's what I
I'm totally
figured.
good with it. I think if I'm like, this is just being completely honest, one of my least favorite things in the world is playing a guitar on social media for something that I can't just like erase and start over.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
You don't get like an audience to get the reaction or anything. So I mean, it's kind of weird.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like that. So COVID is what made me realize that I'm an entertainer. I am not a musician. I'm an entertainer. Yes, I do all the things that musicians do. I write the music and all that, but I do it all because I love entertaining. And part of entertaining is like the feedback that you get from like an audience. And so doing it online, to me, is actually miserable. It's
Yeah.
no.
I couldn't.
I mean, I enjoy it from time to time, but like, yeah, the first time I ever had a TV interview, I was super pumped. I was like, dude, I'm going to be on like Raleigh News tomorrow in North Carolina. And I'm just amped up. Right. And I get there. First of all, it was at like 8 a.m. and at like 2 a.m. and I'm still like not asleep. I'm like, dude, how I'm going to have to sing off of like 4 hours of sleep, which is almost impossible. So I get there and this guy is like, the news guy is like, comes over to me between breaks or between like, sets or whatever. He comes over and he's like, yeah, so we're going to be going on in just a second and blah, blah. He's talking to me. And like, he just like wanders back over to, where he's like the desk that he's, him and like the two other anchors are giving their news. And like, as the clock is like 4, 3, 2, 1, he sits down, boom, he's live and he's so chill. And he's back on the news and he's talking and they're laughing. And like it goes on live. He comes walking back. And I'm like, these people, this is so normal to them. He's like, just wanders back over, sits down back in the chair, light goes green. He's live on the air. And I'm just sitting there fascinated. I'm like in this huge studio. He comes walking back over to me. He's like, all right, well, are you ready? And they're like pulling cameras up in front of me. He's like, we're about to be off a commercial break. And I like look down. And there's this camera facing at me, and below it is this huge TV screen, and it's got like this countdown on it, and it gets down to like 1, boom. He's like, all right, no, he's like, all right, we're live, whatever it was. And I'm just like, I look, and on the TV, I'm watching myself. It's literally like showing me. It's like showing me what is live on their cameras. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't know what the hell to look at now. I don't know whether I'm supposed to look at me on the screen or the camera itself. And I'm like, and then at this moment, I realized I was singing. I'm like, I caught myself in the middle of a song. Like these thoughts were happening all the way through him being like, all right, why don't you play us a song? And I'm not thinking about anything except for like where I'm supposed to look. And all of a sudden I like came to basically like halfway through Love Hate Town. And I'm like, dude, I don't even know if I've sang the second verse yet. I don't know if I've sang the chorus yet. Like I have no clue where I'm at in the song. And finally I like finished. And fortunately I finished the song and I watched it back and fortunately it was like, okay. But like at that moment I realized like, I don't enjoy live stuff. I don't, unless it's, chatting like this, I'm good. But like playing a guitar and singing live and like, if it's not in front of a crowd is tough.
Yeah. You would watch like some of the late night shows, especially now, there's no audience there. And it's weird. Like especially like comedians, they try to tell a joke and no laughing. And it's like,
that's
awkward.
So weird. Yeah. So weird.
What's up, everybody? I just want to interrupt the show real quick and let you guys know we have our first sponsor. It is villain.com. That's V1 LLAIN.com. That's V1 LLAIN.com. If you're a nerd or a dad like all of us here on the show and love the old school cartoons and superheroes, then go ahead and check out villain.com. It's a local clothing company out of our beautiful city of Columbus, Ohio, that works with aspiring and up-and-coming artists. They have everything from shirts to pillows to hats to skateboards. The cool thing about it is, along with each artist, each getting a commission on sales, they also donate 5% of the proceeds to creationsforcures.org. That's creationsforcures.org. We just want to make kids feel like the superheroes they are and help raise awareness and money for the childhood issues and illnesses. Now, back to the show. So one thing I always want to ask too is I kind of asked this all the artists we've had on here. If you had a chance with somebody kind of all different styles, to where JT Hilliard was our like local artist who's kind of a pop rock kind of. Then we had Skip Whitman, who was a rapper who we had a couple weeks ago. And with you being a country artist, I want to ask, like, what comes first? Does your lyrics or the instrumentals?
Yeah. Okay,
Everybody's
so
different.
yeah, I love this question because to me, it's also an evolving thing because when you first start out, you don't really have access to anything except for a guitar to write with. And so you write everything, with a guitar. But usually what I do is I have like, I guess my phone is up here. Anyways, I was looking for my phone. But yeah. So usually what I have is like I have like a couple thousand song titles in my notes on my iPhone. And I will, I have like all these concepts and ideas. So usually they're like a hook line. They're like song titles or hook lines. So I usually start with a concept or a hook line of a song, but I've kind of a little bit evolved to where, so anyways, I would write with like a guitar and start writing with like, find like a little guitar lick or a couple chord progressions that I like, and then start writing lyrics to it. But lately I've enjoyed from time to time having a producer, like sitting down with a producer and being like, hey, this is the vibe of a song that I want to write, and have him kind of like lay down the track where it sounds and like feels really good already, and then trying to write to that, because I feel like you kind of, obviously music is super powerful, and when you've got more than just like an acoustic guitar, you've got like lead guitars and electric keyboard, whatever it is that you've like added to the track that can create these like feels. It's enjoyable to write to that because you're kind of like you're really in the vibe of the song when you're writing. So I don't know if that answers your question or not.
Like I said, everybody's different. That's what makes it neat about it all.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own process of doing things and getting to their final destination, where if they like the song or not, or depends how they go about it.
Yep.
How did you learn how to play the guitar? Or do you play any other instruments as well? Because my dad plays guitar. I thought I was going to be able to play guitar. I bought a guitar, and now it sits under my bed in the
I feel you. So when I was like 14 years old, my dad he got me a guitar for, I think, Christmas, maybe 13 or 14, and I learned a couple chords, but like not really at all. And then after like a year or so of playing from time to time, I didn't play the guitar again at all until maybe like 6 or 7 years ago. And I just like I don't know, like my family, we had like I had 9 siblings. Like we had some difficult times growing up, and a lot of my childhood I spent a lot of it with my siblings living with me or taking care of a lot of them. Well, my dad remarries to a great woman. My mom remarries a great guy. And all of a sudden I have like, all this time. I was working for the government at the time, for the Department of Defense. And I was like, what am I doing? What do I enjoy? I've always loved music. It's always been kind of a dream of mine that I didn't think I'd ever have the opportunity to pursue. So I was like, what am I doing? Like, what do I want to do? So I went out and I bought a guitar and just got on YouTube and just started, figuring some stuff out. But I always learned the guitar to try to figure out how I could at least play it well enough to sing my favorite songs. So it was kind of, I've never really sat down and tried to become like the best guitar player, but just at least well enough to, to play my favorite songs. So that's kind of how I got started playing the guitar. It is the only instrument I play, but I am also, my mom is a great piano player. I'm trying to get her to, she's taught me some stuff, and all my sisters are really good at the piano too. So I try to take some lessons from them from time to time.
We can get that rhythm down.
Yeah.
Yeah, piano.
Your whole family is pretty musical.
Jeez.
Okay, facts. Absolute facts. I am the least talented person in my family.
What?
Like, absolute facts. Like, I'm not shitting you. I've got my baby sister is one of the best voices I have ever heard on the planet. In fact, shameless plug here. She's got a song on Spotify that she just released maybe a month and a half ago. It's a cover. I think it's called All I Want, but like it is epic. She is so damn good in it. My next older sister, Andrea, is like in dance school in like New York City and has like a full scholarship to like dance school. And she can also sing, play the piano, play the guitar. My sister, Julia, is a touring musician. She's just younger than me and plays all over the country with her husband in a band called PDA. My brother Jonathan raps. trying to think. My sister
The
Erin.
new Jackson 5, man.
Yeah, my sister Erin tours with me. It's crazy. My siblings are all like way more talented than I am.
That's insane. Like I have not one musical talent in my body.
No.
Maybe you
Like
do.
kids
You don't
together.
know. You don't know.
I try in the shower, but
Yeah. Amazing in the shower.
Yeah, dude. Shower in the car. Those are the best places.
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, ride
for
home
sure.
from work, I'm the shit.
Oh, absolutely.
Even the cars beside me, they think the same thing,
Yep.
whether they like it or not.
Yeah. I feel like this guy's getting it right now.
Like, I was rocking out to Lil Jon and the East Side Boys on my way home today. Nailed it. Nailed it.
Out in the country, brum, dum, dum.
Nice.
Oh man. Speaking of like road, you're on the road all the time. So are you like are you between a Sunday grandma driver? Or are you more of a ludicrous move bitch, get out the way, road rage type of person?
Okay.
Where are your road rage at?
I'm going to answer this question based off of what I think my band would say. Okay. Because I feel like I would say I'm closer to like a grandma driver, if I'm being honest with you. It's like every vehicle that I own is like either a van or like a large truck. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not an aggressive driver. I was when I was younger, but like, I got like a shitload of tickets. So yeah, I got like a shitload of tickets. I learned my lesson and now I just drive like grandpa. So, but I think my band would say that like, yes, not an aggressive driver, great at backing up trailers, but every now and then someone will piss me off. And they're usually the ones that catch the brunt of it. Cause I'm just like, I'll just pop off in the van, like, just angry at somebody and like sit there as I'm like driving, like, this fucking asshole, blah, blah. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to get over it? And I'll just like pop off in like 5 minutes and then I'll be like, okay, guys, rant over.
I'm good.
Yeah. But if you were following my vehicle and you weren't inside of it, you would be like, this guy is Mr. like grandpa driver, 10 and 2.
So I recently learned how to beat the system.
Okay.
So a few months ago, I bought my grandpa's old car. It's a 2004 Buick Century, bright silver.
Nice.
Like, police don't fuck with Buicks.
No.
Like, it don't matter if you're going 75 and 55, they ain't pulling over no 04 Buick Century.
Nope.
Like I said, I drive this car every day, and I go one of the main roads in Ohio. 23 goes north to south. I think it goes state to state. And like I said, I'm rocking out the Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, blaring out the windows, driving on the highway. Police ain't gonna pull you over in no 04 Buick.
No, I agree with you on that one.
It's like it's the best car to have.
Well, you know what? I need to write this down so I can get back to my aggressive driving ways.
There you go. Oh shit, we have a friend that we went to where was it? Where's the bachelor party at, Mikey? For Sean. Not St. Louis. Louisville. It was in Louisville.
Oh.
Yeah. Louisville.
He's like, he bought this brand new diesel truck, like pimped it out, everything.
No.
And he's like, I'll drive. Mikey's like, nah, man, I'm not getting in the car with you. I'm like, why? He's offering a free ride down there. I ain't gonna worry about gas, anything.
I told you, Chris.
Take me. Bro, I about shit myself. He's like on the brim, passing people. I'm like white knuckle, like, bro, we need to
I'm just sitting
slow
in the back.
down.
I know.
I told you.
Dude, there's
so.
no better sound in life than when that turbo kicks in.
Yeah. My butthole
when that turbo kicks in, that is the best sound in the world.
I'll be honest with you. I cannot do it. I cannot drive with like guys that are like daredevils in the vehicle. I can't do it. That's stressful.
It's like riding my wife.
Acts like we have extra lives or something.
Talk to Sky about that.
The only time
What'd
I
you say
ride
about
my
your
wife
wife?
was when I'm drunk. My wife's got way too many accidents and speeding tickets on her record, like, and she makes fun of my driving. Like, bitch, I drive a Buick, and it ain't wrecked.
Oh man.
So
what, you getting
moved out
shows
at,
or anything you're watching?
Oh, go
or-
ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Chris. You good? You moved out like
It's your
you say 16, right?
Yeah.
Like, what would you tell yourself like now, like all that you've been through? What would you tell yourself at 16 now versus
So I think that the longer you live, the more you start to realize that like things can seem like really dark in the moment, but like no matter what you go through, it seems like, you can go through those few weeks of like, your mind is trying to process pain and like, difficult times, but like somehow humans are so resilient that like we always kind of like break through that and find a new level of happiness no matter like what's going on in our life. But when you're younger, those things happen, you haven't gone through enough and overcome it, gone through something else, overcome it. I wish that I could go back and just be like, no matter what you go through, there's always going to be light on the other side of the tunnel. And, there's always going to be a light. I also would like to go back and tell myself that like, a lot of the things that people tell you to do in life to me are wrong. Like people are always like, go to college, get a good job and get married at this age, have kids at this age and all that stuff, which I have no problem with any of that. But I wish I would go back and tell myself to follow my instincts, because my instincts when I was younger was to be a little bit more of an entrepreneur or, to like do my own thing. I worked for the government and I feel like sitting at a desk was like, it almost killed me. So I wish I could go back and be like, you don't have to do these things to like please anybody, go for your dreams. And I personally think that like, no matter what it is, whether it's music or whether I had chosen to do another passion, I think that like any passion in this world, I don't care what your passion is, can become a career. And I honestly am like, I get sad when I hear people are like, it's, oh my God, it's Tuesday, it's only Monday or whatever it is. And, I can't wait for Friday. I'm like, dude, fuck that. That is the worst mindset. And that's how I lived from like 16 years old until, just 4 years ago next month, when I finally left the government. And so I wish I could go back and say something to myself then. It's like, I don't care what you have to do. Find a way to make sure that you're not living for 2 days a week, which is, Saturday and Sunday.
Very powerful, man. Shit.
Yeah, that's some deep shit.
That's great advice.
Very powerful. I'm like, wow, I got
Mike's thinking about to go do something.
Mike's about to
My mother's off
Come on,
here.
dude. Look, my favorite thing in this whole world is to make people quit their job. That's my favorite thing in the whole fucking world. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious.
You need a TV show.
It's one of my favorite things. Quit your job, dude.
Quitting their job.
Yeah. If you ever say, oh my God, it's Monday, then quit your fucking job and find what your passion is.
I'm gonna quit tomorrow. Fuck it.
Fuck it, dude.
Done.
Yep. That's why I'm doing this, honestly, because I've learned that we've been doing this now for over a year, and it wasn't until recently that I really like the editing. I like, just bullshitting with my friends, and if I can make this a career, hell yeah.
Oh yeah,
and
dude.
then at this point, just kind of like got to grind it out, and eventually get there, but
it keeps going.
Keeps going.
We haven't canceled yet.
Sponsors now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I only got a sponsor.
Yeah.
But I also want to ask, like, since you're on the road and stuff, do you watch or listen to Netflix or anything? Is there any shows you're listening to right now or into?
I just finished watching Your Honor. So I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan, like massive Breaking Bad fan. Like it's disgusting. But anyways, so I heard Bryan Cranston was in he was in a new series. So I watched that. It was pretty decent. But that's kind of I also, every time I've listened to a podcast, I get super into it. I don't remember, I was listening to a podcast with Morgan Wallen and Hardy the other day, and I don't remember who the host was, but that was pretty interesting. So
how's Morgan Wallen taking all of his heat right now? Has he talked about that?
Man, you're gonna bring that up right now?
I mean, I don't know if I should, but
I mean, I'm good with it.
Sales are off the chart.
Yeah, he's crushing it. I think at some point it's going to affect him, because obviously without like a lot of the playlists, Spotify playlists, being on a lot of those, without being on radio, without being on any of the award shows. At some point, it's going to kind of be the out of sight, out of mind thing.
Yeah.
So I think in the long run, it's going to affect him. But I mean, I'm glad that it hasn't crushed him to this point. I personally am very glad that, well, I'm always happy when people don't judge me to that level. And I understand that, like, the further you go through this, it's maybe you're asking for it. I've never believed in that too much. Like, well, that person was, you know, he's in the light. So, like, you know, he should be held to a different standard. I don't personally believe that necessarily. I mean, like, I think that, like, normal people do things that people put them on a pedestal. You know, like Morgan Wallen didn't necessarily ask to be put on that pedestal. I have a lot of friends that, like, I even know a few friends that have said words like that in a very like unintentionally harmful way. Like, it's not, you know, it's just in a friendly way, right? And I know when that happened, I saw them jumping on the bandwagon and slamming you know, Morgan Wallen. And I'm like, you know, that kind of sits wrong with me. I look at that. Can't even tell you. There's at least 5 people that I know of that I saw a post about it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm pretty sure I've actually heard you say something like that in a very similar context. I know that the world's changing. I know that was, you know, several years ago, and you know, you got to be smarter than that. But, you know, my thing is, it's just like, I try not to judge people because I personally know I've made enough mistakes. If somebody had a camera on me 24/7, you know, if somebody went to any one of us and was like, hey, by the way, for the last 6 months, there's been a camera on you without you knowing, your mind would freak out and you'd be like, what the hell?
What did I say?
What have I said? What have I done? And it doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you human. I think that it was awesome that he accepted responsibility for that. And I mean, what else can you do? Every one of us has made mistakes.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Very well said. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've
Watch some of these episodes.
We've all said things. Yeah, right.
You know,
We've all said things we later realize are inappropriate or
Absolutely.
in poor taste.
Especially drunk.
Yeah.
Especially drunk.
Especially drunk.
We all do dumb things when we're drunk.
I had an episode like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Tyler was smashed on here.
I don't even remember it.
That's one of our
watch it.
better episodes.
Nice.
We had most views on that when you were smashed. That's
I
right.
didn't mean to get on that though.
we had a guest one time. It was Tyler's neighbor, and we took a break, and Tyler disappeared for a while, and he came back, and he couldn't talk, couldn't open his eyes. Like he started on a ramble, and, like,
words.
he wasn't talking about shit. It was hilarious.
Damn. Wait, so
So
you
far.
guys had Biden on the show?
That was before.
that was
Hey, baby, you know, I need 50 what votes?
in the spaghetti sauce on the shelf.
Anyway.
Luckily, it was before YouTube.
You didn't fall down any
so
stairs,
I
though.
couldn't watch myself. Yeah.
Oh man,
Man's a joke.
that's too bad. That was like the episode before we went to YouTube too. That would have been sweet.
Oh, damn. I was about to say, I'm going to go YouTube that real quick.
That was like
We
an
just
episode or two
recently-
before we went on YouTube. Chris one day was like, "Hey, it's like
YouTube
I'm gonna
game's
start
stepping
putting
up.
these on YouTube."
Has it done better since
Probably
then?
because of that.
It might have been.
What's it? The YouTube?
Yeah.
It's been kind of mixed batch. I still get people that will listen only to the podcast.
Yep.
So it's still kind of, it fluctuates from, either one.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's cool
Tough, man.
that you have it on YouTube as well. But if I were to listen, I would probably listen on the podcast as well.
A lot of people do when they're driving. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's my time to do that kind of stuff if I'm going to do it.
One thing I was going to ask too, like, how does Spotify and iTunes and all that stuff work for you? Like, I know you get a certain percentage of money when it happens. I was wondering how does it even work?
So with iTunes is where we get the highest percentage. So with iTunes, like if someone spends $1 to download a song, I'll get like 75 cents of that. And so that's
shit.
a really
Shit.
great, yeah. That's
I just made you like
that's why
$2.25 today, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Bought some of your songs today.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Now I can have lunch tomorrow. I'm kidding.
Yes. Get some milk.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna go get some bread and some milk, dude. So iTunes is always kind of, that's why like artists kind of push iTunes from time to time, you know, like obviously nobody really gives a shit about iTunes anymore, but you know, so then when it comes to like Apple Music and Spotify, check this out. I get 0.0045% every stream of a penny.
Of a penny.
Yeah.
What?
That's like
Yeah.
On Spotify?
On Spotify. So basically, if I were to get
Spotify the shit out of you.
If I were to get 1 million streams, 1 million streams would be, I think, $4,500.
Shit, man, I'm on it.
That's insane.
On it.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it on all day for you.
I'm just gonna leave it on.
Dude, you guys could do that. That would be great. So this is what I think. This is what I'm curious about. So I've always been curious, like, okay, so you're an artist. Well, I'm an artist and I pay for Spotify. So it's $10 a month. It's $10 a month to get Spotify, right?
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
how many streams can you give yourself in a month? Like,
In a
can I
month?
make a career out of this? Like, I'm
Right?
just gonna like put my songs on repeat and just see if I can make a career out of it. Like, I'm just gonna sit in my room with like 15 different devices and all on their own like Spotify.
Just keep in
And
it.
just be like, I don't care if anybody else listens. I'm making money.
Right.
So that's
Well,
really
even
what
for
you're
us.
doing.
Spotify party.
Beating the system.
Yeah,
As long as you got Spotify, man.
Maybe that's how these people do it.
Fucking chill.
I'm just trying to get Spotify for free. That's all I'm doing. You know?
I know for us, like I can see when I don't know if people's listened to the entire episode, but I can see at least that they've clicked on it. So we have people like in Norway. I'm like, oh, okay, sweet. There's like China, a couple others. Like it says it on there. Like I don't know if they actually listened to it, but they clicked on it, so count it.
Yep. So you can do that with Spotify as well. And I would say, I think it's who is it that's always number one? It's Chicago. Chicago, for some weird reason, I've never played in Chicago. That's not true. I have now, but it's been number one well before I played there. And so it's like weird that Chicago's number one. And I wonder, I feel like Columbus is always in the top 10.
Always.
I mean, we've been streaming it quite a bit here lately.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I did see like I recently found like your song Break My Own Rules. It got like a techno almost dubstep remix. Was that any part of that was you, or is that some guy just straight stole your shit?
It's a friend of mine, Always Sunny, and he's actually another Maryland guy. So he reached out to me and he's like, "Hey, dude, do you mind if I like remix your song?" And I've heard some of the other stuff he's done, and I was like, you know, he does a good job. So, but I'll be honest with you, part of me saying yes was like, I just want to hear what one of my songs would sound like, you know, produced like that. Yeah. And you know, and for some reason, every time I listen, I can't stop smiling and I can't stop laughing. So it's done a great job. He did a great job. It's hard for me to listen to myself sing something like that. So like, I just can't stop laughing. I don't know why. It just comes across like super funny to me.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if he like stole your shit and you didn't tell him like
no. He had full permission. In fact, when you guys stream that, I'm still getting the royalties from that too. So it's fair to.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, stream that one too then.
There you go. Stream it all you want.
You live in Nashville now, right? So what's are you a fan of the Nashville chicken? Nashville hot chicken?
I've been back in Maryland for the most part. I've been back in Maryland for the most part since COVID. So I spent like all last week in Nashville. I still am there all the time, but since COVID, I spent time here because all of my guys, the whole band is from Maryland. And it was the easiest place for us to come back and like when necessary, when we needed to make some extra money, we could do so. And a couple of the guys can like live with their family and stuff like that, where it's a little cheaper since we're not, you know, I'm not able to pay the guys quite as much as I was able to before COVID. So, but as far as the Nashville chicken goes, I do enjoy it. I also am like, I love spicy food, but I find the Nashville chicken a little bit too like white people spicy, if that makes sense.
It does.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm like really into like Thai, like Vietnamese food, and like I don't know. I'm really into like ethnic food that is like really spicy. So I kind of find the Nashville chicken like unnecessarily hot, like in the ratio of like heat to flavor. If that makes sense.
True.
It's good, but it's not my favorite.
What's your like what would be like a Maryland dish that like not everybody
Oh
you
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
Seafood, right?
Like a back home food, I guess is what I
yeah.
would say.
So like when you ever seen the movie oh my god, Wedding Crashers,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
he's like
Yeah.
crab cakes and football. That's what Maryland does. Well, minus the football, I don't know where that came from in the movie because football we suck at. Like, but like the crab cakes is like that's our thing. Like if you come to Maryland, if you get crab cakes anywhere else, even if someone says it's Maryland crab cakes, it's probably bullshit. Like, but if it's like if somebody made the crab cakes with like right here in Maryland, it's just a whole different level. I don't know if you guys like seafood, but like oysters and crab cakes, like Maryland crushes it.
Making my
But
mouth.
crab cakes, that's what we do.
I'm salivating.
I fucking love seafood.
Yeah, me too.
I'm more of a fish guy though. So like up
Yeah.
here, walleye's really big. So we got Lake Erie. You got catfish as well, but I don't really get seafood unless I'm by either the lake or the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get
Because of
it.
that. Like one of the best spots I went to was in Florida. We were in like Panama City, and it was a shack on the side of the road, and there was a line like 30 yards behind it. And we're like, we'll stop there. And they had swordfish tacos.
Oh hell
Best
yeah!
fucking tacos I've ever had.
Yeah.
I miss
One of
it.
my favorite things in the whole world is blackened grouper tacos, fish tacos, but like blackened grouper, dude. That is like, I don't know what I don't. Oh, and then a blackened grouper sandwich with some tartar sauce on there. I'm getting hungry now.
Tartar.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
God dang.
Have you ever had like a crawfish boil or anything like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like huge in Maryland. Where have I had that? I mean, obviously when I was in New Orleans, I did. But where was it recently that I had? Oh, I know. I was at some. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's like a Korean place. Where it's like a hot pot. I don't know if you guys have those out there. It's like a hot pot. It's like a Korean place where you have like a heater on your table. It's like below your table, but like the bowl like sits down inside of the table, and it's like heated and it's boiling, and you can like control the temperature, but you can like take like crawfish and like oysters and like all this like crazy stuff, and you like order the food raw and you put it in, like cook it yourself, but it's in this like spicy broth.
Oh my
so
God.
Anyways, yeah, I did have crawfish there a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
I know this is
Be like a fondue place.
That's so damn good.
It'll be fondue, but nothing like that.
Right? Open one up.
Where
over
you at
here.
right now?
I'm into seafood.
You're in Tennessee?
At the moment?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in Maryland at the moment.
Oh,
yeah.
you're in Maryland.
I just got back from Tennessee yesterday or Saturday.
Okay. All right.
So
When
what do
will
you
you start
do?
to head down this way?
We'll probably head there Friday night, or
Okay.
maybe early Saturday morning.
How far
It's not that far a drive from Maryland.
I think it's like 7 hours or something like that. It's not too
Yeah.
bad.
Not bad.
Yeah.
That's
Have
chump
you,
change
What do
for
you
you,
do when
right?
you?
have you been to Ocean City?
Damn.
Ocean City.
Ocean City, Maryland?
Yeah, it's Ocean City. Yeah.
Go ahead, Kevin. It's your
Ocean
turn.
City is fun. I like playing there.
All right. Never mind.
Somebody said,
was
"What
just-
do you do?"
No, I was gonna say, what do you do? Say you've been on the road for weeks at a time, and you get home. What do you do? Like, do you go fishing? Do you go play golf? Do you go hang with your friends? Go party? What do you?
Sleep.
Yeah.
What
So
do you do to unwind after a long
Saturday I
trip
got
on the road?
home, and the first thing I did was go play golf with my brother. So I do
Oh,
like
yeah.
going to play golf, but usually like So I'll be like, driving home. Like this last time I was like driving by myself. I like pulled like 2 all-nighters in like a few days to do all the driving. And so I'm like driving home, and the whole way home, I'm like, man, I can't wait to like go home and relax. But I get home and I'm like finally get into that situation where I'm relaxing and I'm just miserable. I'm just like,
Right.
I am such a like,
It gets boring.
yeah, dude, I am such a like drifter. It's crazy. Like I think that I want to relax. I think I need time to chill, and I get into that scenario, and all I can think about is like how I just can't wait to like get back out and like do something.
Oh yeah.
Go, go, go.
Yeah.
Let's see. You guys got anything else for him? Tyler? I can just
What's your
wind it up.
favorite, like your favorite city to perform at?
So
Or venue, I guess.
I definitely
That's
have
Ohio.
one.
Ohio.
I definitely have one. So I'm gonna give you the real answer. The real answer is actually a mixture of two. I love playing in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I love playing in Delray Beach, Florida. Delray Beach, Florida is just like the coolest vibes. It's like on the beach. And for some reason, it's like where I have one of my biggest followings in the US. And I love playing in Raleigh, North Carolina, because their music education is crazy. Like I cannot throw a song at them that everybody doesn't know the words to, and the vibes in that place are just like crazy. It's just amazing. I will say that Columbus is the first place that I played outside of my home region, like Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, where I started singing some of my songs, and I noticed a lot of people singing them back to me. And so Columbus, actually, I'm excited because it's going to be the first time I played there in a few years. But like I said, they'll always be special to me because I went to go play there, and it was my first time playing in Ohio. And for some reason, it was like, it was probably like 15 people that legitimately like knew my stuff. But like, to me, that was the craziest concept in the world. It was the wild. I just was so confused by it, but it was such an adrenaline rush that even though there was probably 40 people in the bar that night and 15 of them knew my music, it was like one of my favorite feelings. So I'm super pumped to come back.
Oh yeah.
It's got to feel like a high almost. And I've said this to Skip and JT too. Just like when people do sing back your lyrics, it's something that you've created. That's gonna be fucking awesome, and like more of a high than anything else.
Yeah, I've actually read that that artists in those types of situations can experience as much of a dopamine rush as someone that's skydiving. So it is definitely a rush. It's addicting.
You ever skydive?
Oh yeah, a couple times.
I've done it once. I want to do it again.
Yeah,
so, like everybody does, it need to try at least once.
You got to try it once. You got to.
I think we have it on YouTube actually. I got a video when we did it. And like I remember going up there and like I put my goggles on really quick, and he's like, you can tell you're nervous.
Yeah.
You put your goggles on before you even got on the plane or some shit. You get the like you see the video, you see like the 1, 2, 3, and I do like the oh shit moment. Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But 100% I'll do it like all over again.
Yep. I noticed my like nervous habit these days. Like I just put my mask on. Like at times it doesn't even make sense. I'm like sitting there talking to someone, and I'm like, I'll turn around and just like put my mask on. I'm like, why did I just do that?
As long as you don't do it when you're driving by yourself.
Oh, dude, no.
Yeah, that's.
Don't peg me. Don't peg me like that.
Dude, every time I see those people, I point them out the window. Like I stick my whole arm out the window. Like you. Why?
You.
Stop it.
Yeah, that is like I already
You're
know your
ruining
name.
this country.
Yeah, I already know your name. It's Karen. So
yeah. First of all, if you're driving a Prius, you should always have a mask on, even when you're sleeping.
always. It's like danger
I
zone.
saw something that was like
We also just like mentioned.
Okay.
I just want to say this. This is like my favorite topic these days is the obnoxious inconsistencies that are happening in this world right now. I can get on an airplane.
Yes.
It is packed as shit.
But you gotta have your fucking mask on your face.
Yeah, your mask is on your face. It's packed as shit. I get off the airplane. I get on the shuttle to go to the rental car place. And they're screaming at everyone to socially distance. And I'm like,
You just got off the packed plane.
30 seconds ago, it was acceptable for me to be getting smashed by Big Bertha to my left. And now
this bitch. God damn.
yeah, like I didn't even ask to have someone sit next to me. But now I'm like sitting in a bus and they're screaming at you to social distance. And the inconsistencies are about to drive me nuts. And I can't believe how complacent everyone is all the time. Just complacent. We're like, yeah, no problem. I'll shut my business down and fire my employees and watch everything I've worked for my whole life go to shit. And I'll complain about it a little bit. But like, dude, the amount of people that are just like watching all of this happen is just, it blows my mind.
Dude, we've all got our own theories about it. Chris has some actually pretty good Karen stories.
Yeah.
I never care to hear them.
Oh man.
If you can remember them. Some of them are pretty old, but he's got some pretty good ones.
It's been a while.
Dude, but this whole thing, it reminds me of something that happened quite a few years ago, but it's the government taking control of everybody.
Yeah.
And they can do it very easily. And they're doing it very easily. I don't
want to be clear. I don't think that COVID is fake. I don't think it's pretend in any way, but I think someone took advantage of it. It's being taken advantage of, and it's being used to continue. It's like, it's like
they weaponized it.
Yeah. It's a knot that is just like getting tighter and tighter. And they're using COVID as a way to like, to accomplish these things in a much faster way than they would have without COVID.
Right.
I agree.
We keep you whole and strong.
Your government will keep you safe.
Yes, we will keep.
Yeah.
I think the Nazis might have said that. The Nazis, I think, might have said that once.
What do you feel about the shot? Like, are you going to get the vaccination? Because I've seen they're putting like restrictions on like flying places or going to school places or
concerts
like that. Like, I don't feel like
you need a fucking vaccine passport anywhere you go anymore.
Right.
I already had COVID, so like I'm gonna wait until they tell me like for 100% certain that you can get it twice, and until they can like 100% prove that you can get it twice, more than the few people that they've been able to prove got it twice, until they can like put it out and like, yes, people are now starting to get it twice at like a high rate.
Right.
I'm not even gonna think about it until then. But I'd imagine if they do say that you can get it twice, I still probably won't get it, because when I did have COVID, I barely knew that I even had it. Why would I even if it's like a 1%?
What were your symptoms like?
I lost my smell and my taste, mostly my smell. And then like 2 months later, when my smell started to come back, all of a sudden, everything in the world tasted the same. Like if I ate an orange, it tasted the same as anything. Literally, pick anything in this world. It all had this weird like burnt wasabi flavor. Like I could smell a fart and it smelled the exact same as like roses. Like all of it was the same. Everything had this one smell and flavor. Everything tasted the same, smelled the same for like 2 months. And then all of a sudden it was gone. So
been splurging now.
I'm glad you're healthy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, these food tastes so good.
Those freaking fish tacos have been phenomenal.
Oh, I'm coming to Maryland. Give me some.
Yeah, dude, come on.
What's your favorite guitar to play? And like, do you plan on buying? Like, how often do you buy guitars?
Okay.
Like, do you plan on buying another one? Like, what's the next one? Like, my dad plays guitar all the time, and he's all the time buying guitars, and they're like $1,000, $2,000.
He's like me with golf clubs right now.
Yeah,
and I'm like, fucking golf clubs right now.
Come on, Dad.
Okay, first of all, I feel like both of you are in my mind right now, because I've only bought one guitar, personally in my whole life until Wednesday, and I bought my dream guitar on Wednesday. So I bought a Gibson and it is like it's like the sunburst finish. It is to me, it's the most beautiful guitar on the planet. So I just bought a guitar the other day. You want me to see it? I'll grab it for you.
Yeah,
right
I want
now.
to see it. Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Let me show you something real quick.
You want me? I'll show you.
I will show you.
Chris, what you drinking there, Chris?
Jack and Coke.
Yeah, so this is it.
Ooh,
That's
look at
pretty.
that
That's
boy.
pretty.
Dude, that's so old school.
That's awesome.
That is so old school. Damn, that thing.
Yeah, it's the Gibson Sunburst finish. Yeah, so
Ooh,
I love it.
that's the one.
ooh.
So
Tyler's
yeah.
got a little chubby right there.
Oh, and then
He's always got a little chubby there.
my guy, yeah, talking about golf clubs. Yeah, golf clubs. So music and golf are like the only two things in this world that I'm like really willing to spend money on. So
Dude, I
Hey,
was never into
Those
golf.
are two good things.
Tyler and I used to work on a golf course back 10, 12, well, 15 years ago.
Long ass time. Yeah.
15 years ago, we worked on a golf course. I was never into golf in my entire life. I worked 8, 10, 12 hours on a golf course every day, never wanted anything to do with it. Last year, something like switched in my head. It's like, I'm going to give it a shot. You know, like I want a new hobby. I'm going to give it a shot. You know, we had Chris's Memorial Tournament coming up. And I don't know, like, I watch on TV. I watch the Golf Channel all the time.
same.
All the time I watch Golf Channel, which is weird. But like,
Dude,
So,
it's
yeah,
part
I mean,
of becoming a grown man. You just get into golf. That's what we do.
that's what I feel.
Or you get into naps.
Like,
Dude, can I also say
we can do
can I also
both.
say it probably means that you were married recently.
Yeah.
Not recent, but yeah.
Well,
In the last several years, in the last 3 years, you got married.
I was married 3 years ago. Who would have been with for 11 years.
Yeah.
That's not bad because it's a hobby is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
with
Dude,
somebody for
it's
so
a
long,
hobby
you marry them.
Where
You
girls
need a hobby.
are like, yeah, girls are like, oh, he's going to play golf. I don't care. And
Right.
you're there with your boys. You can drink. It lasts for 5 fucking hours, which is amazing.
At
And-
most.
you
it's
still have
like-
excuses if it lasts longer.
Yeah. You're like, I'm sorry, the guys in front of us were slow as shit today. And
That's the
you know,
thing. That's my thing too. Like, all right, 18 rounds can last from 4 to 6 hours, give or
Easily.
take. Like that's
Yeah.
that's not that bad. That's
No.
not that bad. One day every 2 months, 3 months, you know, or every week, whatever.
I was
you know?
about to say once or twice a week. Come on.
I say I just bought these irons over here. All right, like they're Titleist irons from 20 years ago, but they need grips. They're fucking everything. Like I got like a whole bunch of, and I want her to get into golf with me.
Oh,
So I'm
no.
gonna set them up to her.
No. Keep
Don't
that
do it.
boundary,
Don't do
man.
it.
Keep the
Don't
boundary.
Don't
do it.
No.
Don't
Every
do
time
it.
you want to go golfing,
That's your time,
he's
dude.
coming.
But see, that's the thing though. If I want to go play golf, it's a little give and take.
I gotcha.
It's like either take her or don't go.
I
You
gotcha.
know what I mean?
I know. You can still go with the boys sometimes.
Take your
but,
son.
You know,
Right. You can do both. And I'm working on that too. My son has his own golf clubs. It's a little give and take.
Oh no.
Did we lose him too?
Oh, his phone died. Pause that.
Oh, there he is.
Sorry.
Oh,
He's
he's back.
back.
All right, cool.
We're having flashbacks from the last interview where we lost Skip.
oh, no good.
But anyways, I've become real passionate about golf. I like golf. Obviously, I'm terrible at it because I've only played never once.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
this year,
So
high hopes.
passionate.
I have the high hopes this year.
Super passionate about it.
Dude,
Yeah.
like I said, I watch
My sport's
golf a
cornhole.
lot. I watch
Chris is a
Dude.
fucking G.
Chris is a G.
I can't help it.
The fucking G at cornhole.
I'm not a G because I got my ass handed to me.
You play cornhole?
That's all right.
Oh, yeah. I love
Yeah?
cornhole.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
cornhole.
Oh yeah.
So I recently, 'cause ever since COVID, watching on TV and stuff like that, it's on ESPN all the time now. I went to a legit tournament. Thought I was a shit because I play cornhole all the time. Backyard, beat all my friends. I
Well, dude,
got
in Ohio, it's hot. That's what we
smacked.
do.
Like it's a whole nother league.
I bet.
It's still fun though.
Look at the
Yeah.
Drinking guy, what's your top 3 favorite alcoholic drinks?
All right, so I'm boring as shit when it comes to alcohol. If I had to pick a beer, I'm going Bud Light. Okay, but it's gonna be for whiskey. It's gonna be Jameson. I always drink whiskey for the most part. It's gonna be Jameson. And then it's a toss up between Jack and Jim, but Jameson's probably my favorite, and then maybe Jim and then Jack. It's pretty basic.
Solid
pretty
choices.
basic. Yeah.
Can't go wrong with them.
You can't.
Right.
That's about as American as you can get.
True. The Jameson is
That's
Irish
true.
whiskey, but
Jim's Irish. So
Yeah.
sorry, I've had a little bit too much Jim.
I mean,
there you go.
fair. Oh
Yeah.
man, well, we're gonna leave this part of the show to open up to you. Any promotions you want to send out? Go ahead and do it now. Tell your
Yeah.
friends what you got up going on.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to find me, everything in the entire world except my website is Phillip Michael Parsons. It's Phillip with 2 L's, middle name Michael, last name Parsons. And that goes for TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that. My website is pmparsons.com, and that has my full tour schedule. It has a lot of other information. But, you know, I guess I'm just freaking thankful dude to be strumming a guitar and singing in a microphone on a nightly basis. And, you know, anytime someone listens to my music, it means the world to me. So, you know, also I will say that every single time someone streams my music, it's huge. People don't have a clue how much of a difference they can make just by going on Spotify, saving a song, putting out one of their playlists, and you know, just maybe sharing it with a friend. That can make a huge difference. Spotify goes and they look at a lot of those analytics, and they then use that type of stuff to decide what playlist they put things on. And I can see, you know, if I share something and a lot of people in one day do a lot of those things, it can like exponentially affect a lot of things. So, you know, anytime someone listens, I appreciate the hell out of it. It means a lot. But, you know, seriously, I
Or
appreciate
you
you
do
guys.
iTunes, get paid more.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or purchase it on iTunes. That works for me.
Well, we definitely.
Well, Phillip, like I said, man, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
absolutely.
Thank you, man.
All right, no problem. This Saturday, April 3rd, Sports on Tap. You can get your tickets at sportsontap.main.com. For me, Chris Webb, Tyler Thomas, Michael Scheid, Kevin Salyer, of course, Phillip Michael Parsons. See Average Podcast, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You want to throw it out with what, Bad Girl?
Let's do it.
All right. For us, love you guys. We're out. This is Phil Michael Parsons, Bad Girl. Peace.
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 She has a couple tattoos upon her that Sunday afternoon. Pissed, stressed, no, she can't keep her hands off of me. An undercover devil that the preacher can't see. Yeah, I ain't saying she ain't living right, but she can sure flip a switch in my bed at night. She got the dirty little mind, every kind of guy trying so hard to find. I got a bad girl who's a good woman, knows every move, what to do when I want another. Every trick she gives and she has, keeps on in disguise. Yeah, she's a man on mine, I ain't going nowhere and she knows it. Wanting every sexy thing that she's putting on me, and I keep watching her on it. Yeah, I got a bad girl who's a good woman. My friends will try to call me, but ever since she pressed her body up on me, I stand, cause I can't get enough of this heat. Don't need to go looking when I got what I need. Yeah, she's more than just some tricks in bed. She sure turned this outlaw into a gentleman. She's the perfect kind, every kind of guy trying so hard to find. I got a bad girl who's a good woman. woman knows every move, what to do when I want another. Give her tricks she gives and she has. Keeps on in disguise. Yeah, she's a mine on mine. I ain't going nowhere and she knows it. Wanting them sexy thing that she's putting on me, and I keep watching her on it. Yeah, I got a bad, bad girl who's a good, good woman. Bad girl. Every move, what to do when I want another. Give her tricks she gives and she has. Keeps on in disguise. Yeah, she's a mine on mine. I ain't going nowhere and she knows it. Wanting them sexy thing that she's putting on me, and I keep watching her on it. Yeah, I got a bad, bad